Okay guys, so before we start talking about our lesson today, I want everybody to close your eyes. So I want you to imagine that we've just done an awesome day of sailing, and we're getting ready to come back at the end of the day. We're getting ready to dock so that we can de-rig and we can go home to our families. So now, we're approaching the dock, but we've never docked before. Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea if we head straight at that dock? Kaiten, what do you think?
I think that's a bad idea.
Kai Locke, what do you think?
Bad.
Bad? Yeah, that is a bad idea. So you can open your eyes now. So today, we're going to talk about how to safely dock in different wind directions and how to do that as efficiently as possible so that we can get in a reasonable amount of time. Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. All right. So, first of all, before I explain how to dock, I want to see if you guys have any ideas, just basic understanding of dock positioning. Okay, so this here is our dock, and this is our boat, and this is the wind. So if the wind is coming from this direction, what side of the dock do you think we should be on for docking? Should we try to dock on the windward side, or should we try to dock on the leeward side? Susan, what do you think?
I would say that the leeward side would probably be a better decision.
The leeward side? Yeah, and Chiron, what do you think?
Yeah, the leeward side.
Leeward side, you're right. That's actually our first step of how to dock. You want to identify what side is the leeward side of the dock, and that's the side we're going to approach when we're docking. So if the wind is coming from this direction now, what side would we be approaching from? Kaiten?
This side.
Perfect. You guys are catching on. So next, once we've identified what side is the leeward side, we want to get into a position where we can do what's called a hooked approach. So the hooked approach is when you don't head straight at the dock, but you approach it coming closer to straight on, and you turn as you're approaching it so that you're able to approach it when you're beside the dock instead of having the bow of your boat hit the dock. Does everyone understand that? Okay, so let's just go over what we've learned so far. So the first step is
Leeward.
Right, so we want to approach the leeward side. And then step 2 is
Position for approach.
right, so we want to make sure that we're in a good position so that we can get a good approach at the dock. So our third step is we want to actually turn and prepare to stop. And that's the step that we actually want to stop too. So in that step, we've just set ourselves up so we're in a good position that we can stop properly. And now we actually want to turn, so we're not heading straight at the dock anymore. Now we get to turn, and we get to let out our sails by releasing our main sheet. And then that's when we can backwind our sails a little bit if we have to, so we're able to slow down so we can grab onto the dock. Okay, does everyone understand that? Mm-hmm. Yeah? So again, let's start from the beginning. Step 1.
Leeward.
Step 2.
Position for approach.
And step 3.
Turn and slow.
Perfect. Okay, so now in step 4, we've already approached the dock, we've slowed down. This is when we grab onto the dock and we get ready to de-rig our sails or to take out our rudder, whatever we have to do so we can get on land or whatever we have to do with our boat. So if we're coming at the dock again if the wind's coming from there and we're coming from this direction, this is when we come up on the left side and we have one of our crew members hold onto the dock while the skipper takes out the rudder and the rest of the crew is able to help get stuff ready to go on land. Is that clear for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go over some examples. Okay, so let's say the wind is coming from this direction. Susan, do you want to show us how you think you would dock?
I think you would have to tack up to the dock, and then the boat's full. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You would have to tack up towards the dock, and then to avoid irons, you would probably have to beam reach. And depending on where, I'm assuming this is water, you might have to go into irons to get close enough to the dock.
That's close, but we want to avoid going into irons as we're docking, because if we do that and we get stuck in irons, then we might end up drifting the other way and end up going backwards, and then we'll have to circle around. So instead of doing that, we want to stick closer to the leeward side. So we want to be over here, you know.
Forgot about that.
And then as we do our hook approach, we grab on at the leeward side. So we don't actually want to go into irons.
I see.
All right? Okay, so now let's say the wind is coming from this direction. How about Kyla? Do you want to show us how you think you would approach the dock?
You would have to go this way and then grab the hook.
Awesome. Okay. So now this one's a tricky one. How about if the wind is coming from this direction?
Oh.
How about Kyla, you do this one?
All right. I'd maybe go downwind, further up the dock, and then I'd probably loop around, and then probably let out my sail once when I'm about close reach or something like that, and then just secure myself onto the dock.
Okay, that's good. But as we're approaching from this direction, make sure that we want to have control as we're heading towards the dock. So a lot of the times, if it's windy and we're going straight downwind, we can get out of control, especially if it is really high wind. So we want to try to go at a more controlled position. So if we have to go from more of a reach and then head up, instead of trying to go downwind, that's probably safer. Okay? Is everyone good with that? So then before we go to get rigged, let's go over our 4 steps again. What's step 1?
Leeward.
And step 2?
Position for approach.
How about step 3?
Turn and slow.
And step 4?
Secure.
Okay, so does everybody feel comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go sailing.
Can I stop this quickly? Or I can just do that?